Yes, people. Ross of the West Ham Network. Hope you are all safe and well. We're still in injury time. Still 2-1. Our 17-game European record is in. Well, he's 6 minutes away from being lost. Obviously, going into this first half, 2-0. Nothing. There's been literally nothing all game until the last 10 minutes. We sort of turned up a little bit. Lucas Paqueta, despite giving the ball away about 27 times, has scored. It was a great volley out. You come into the box late, and we've still got 5 minutes left. But that's literally all been it. There's been nothing exciting that's happened from a West Ham perspective apart from that. And that's invigorated us a little bit, but it's had to. It's taken us this long to actually make some impression on the game. Olympiacos are just about to bring on, it looks like, Stefan Jovic, the former Man City, and Monaco, Inter Milan, and Hertha Berlin striker. But it's been just been bad. It's just been really, really bad. They're making 2 subs now, obviously trying to wind the clock down. It's about 3 or 4 minutes left of injury time. It's just been very poor, very, very poor from the beginning. They came out the gates quickly. To be honest, until the goal, it was nothing really in it. It was just, but we gave them too much time. They scored, and then Ogbonna with an absolute awful. He's had an awful game. I think for a man, they've had an awful game. There's been no one, I think, who's come away with this game of any glory. I mean, even Paqueta, yes, he's scored a good goal, but he gave the ball away after some times already. Cordes looks sharp, but that's it really. Kudus, non-existent game for him today, I think. JWP, worst game I've seen him play in the West Ham shirt. It's been very poor, and so we've still got 3 minutes left to maybe get out of jail. But even that, I mean, just a little pass back there, very poor by Paqueta. He keeps losing the ball. He's almost like it's when he's under pressure. He's really cumbersome with what he's doing. And we're obviously going for it now. We're pushing on. Very poor touch there from Bonner. I don't want to see Bonner play for us again. I think he's been really poor. That goal, that own goal, to me showed exactly why he shouldn't be playing in this side. Really haven't been happy with him at all. Really haven't. We're just getting to the last sort of 2 or 3 minutes left. Cornet, what a surprise. It's just been, honestly, from beginning to end. Freiburg looks like they were 3-1 up. They were 1-0 down against back at Topola, and they're taking it down to 3-1 now. So that puts them on the same points as us. Don't want the women's. Let's put this in. 2 minutes left. Yeah, so this really tightens up the group. This result and the Freiburg game, we're still top, but Freiburg have got 6 points as well. Olympiacos have 4 points, and they obviously travel to London Stadium in a fortnight's time. And result for them there, and it could be all. Well, it could be really squeaky bum time to qualify outside the group, let alone win it. We've got just over a minute left. Lucas Paqueta and. Suchek over, very poor. Jay, bad performance from us. The game was ours to take. It was, particularly that first. I thought for the first half, first 30 minutes, there was nothing really from them, but they had a great goal, fantastic goal. Which, again, you look at the midfield, you say, well, they didn't close him down. He had far too much space. They're obviously going to have a cramp now, which is ridiculous. We played like it was walking the park and didn't start playing until we scored. We didn't deserve we didn't deserve the draw. Where we were rubbish. They just play as a team, and so didn't disappoint. Yeah, you're right, mate. It hasn't been a great day not a great game for us at all. Does this affect Moyes' position? Well, it's 2 losses on the spin, mate. 2 losses on the spin doesn't help the position, surely. and who knows? I mean, it's not. Nothing's going to happen until in his terms of position now for him. But this, and then obviously we got Everton on Sunday. A loss there, 3 losses on the spin. It will start the noises, no doubt. No doubt, will start the noises. And obviously, this is, as I said, and I've always said, this is, for me, this is the biggest. This is our biggest group stage game we've had in all of the 3 groups stops of our Europa Conference and League journeys this year. Who's got a yellow card? Remember, the coaching staff got a yellow card there. So, but even like the subs have come on and they just haven't. The subs have come on and just haven't really made an impact. I mean, obviously Antonio barely touched the ball really. Alvarez has looked poor. I mean, Paqueta, yes, he scored a fantastic goal, but still was very poor, I thought. Gave away the ball a lot, was forcing a lot of play. It's one of those. I think Don Hutchinson said it's just finished 2-1 now. I think Don Hutchinson said on the commentary, it's like, these are the types of games where you've just literally just got to bury it and move on. And it has, for me, there hasn't been much. I mean, that's our first defeat in 18 games, in 18 European games. But yeah, shocking performance, shockingly bad performance it was. We didn't turn up until the last 5-10 minutes, really. And that's all you could talk about, really. I mean, there's, to be honest, anything else, it was just a poor game all round. Very poor game. Everton will show shit if we don't lose that game. Surely he's got a shaky peg. It's, as I said, I think Deadly Don Hutchinson said it really well. He says these types of games, there's nothing in it. There's nothing in it. There's no crumb of positivity you can take away from it. It's the type of game you got to bury. It just happens occasionally. We looked from the start, as I said, that first half, there wasn't one player I could say had a good first half. Second half, even that, poor. JWP, poor. Ogbonna, poor. Emerson, okay. Emerson, probably the only one it is. Yeah, very poor. Said 2-1 to them before kickoff after seeing the team. Russ, it's not a defeat; it's the performance. Well, it is. Well, Mikey, it is the result first, and then it is the performance. And I thought we have been very poor, very lackluster. Just didn't get it. Hello, Anton's waving to you. Not to me. He's not waving to me. Bury it. Move on.
Yeah, listen, it's always going to be a tough one to take, isn't it? I mean, we weren't there from minute 1. I done the commentary. I struggled the whole way through that game. Watching it, it was a tough watch. We couldn't really string 2 passes together. The way that Olympiacos set up in the first half was the way that we should have set up in the first half. They were structured. They were extremely simple in their style of football, and that's exactly what we didn't do. And then we didn't come out the second half all guns blazing. And listen, we've got to give Olympiacos credit. They had to win this game tonight, and they've went ahead and done it, and they've done it well. They've done it well. We were below par. Again, we were below par. I agree, we were below par, but they were also at the top of their game. So it was a bit like Aston Villa. We were below par, Aston Villa top of their game. We were below par today, Olympiacos top of their game. I'm not trying to find excuses before people start saying to me I'm finding excuses. I'm trying to literally say as I saw it. Paqueta, let's talk about just Paqueta for an example, who came off the bench and did what he did against Aston Villa, and we don't see that very often from Paqueta. So there's just something a bit edgy with him the past couple of games. It's not gone down well.
Right, is there? There's something not right about him.
It doesn't mean it's not going to be. It's going to be like that forever. It's just what we've never saw before. Like he is.
It's like when he's pressured. I think you know what I mean. It's like when he's under pressure. That's what Hutch was saying on commentary. He's like, he seems to be really under pressure, and he seems to be giving the ball away because he's under pressure.
Yeah,
and he was trying to get stuff going and trying to move, and he was trying to overplay it and yes, he scored a great goal, but I mean, in the
But
grand
that's the
scheme of things, that's
yeah.
it.
That was it. That's literally all he did in that game. I mean, he came to like the ball came in at the end there from him, which was a good ball. I mean, Paqueta in the 20 odd minutes that he played done two good things, and that was it. But he'd done about 7 or 8 bad things in that game
Yeah,
from him coming off the bench. But mostly we were non-existent throughout the whole game. And I agree with you. I don't know who it was that said it. Was it Hutch that said it? Like, you've got to bury it, and you have to
yeah,
bury it. I
yeah,
get there's going to be people in the comments going, "Oh, is he on a shaky peg?" He's not on a fucking shaky peg. Like, whether people like it or not, David Moyes not on a shaky peg. Every manager in the Premier League will be on a shaky peg if they lose 5 or 6 games in a trot. So I don't think people counted us out 6 games into the season, and where we are and look where we are. That's a crap performance.
yeah.
That's an unacceptable crap performance, especially when you've got fans that have paid the money they've gone to go over
Yeah.
there. So when you're under par, that's what's frustrating. And in actual fact, can we really call that on Moyes, or can we call that on the players
Well,
as well?
I think everyone's got to take a group responsibility for this.
100%.
I think when we saw the side, and me and Holly when it was announced, I thought,
Yeah,
When
yeah,
you
a
look
bit
at
like yeah,
but when you look at Freiburg, when we played away to Freiburg, we went very strong. We had arguably, with the exception of Antonio not playing, and we had, we had that four. We had Paqueta, we had Such, we had JWP, Alvarez, Bowen, we had Kudus. We had a really strong side. I thought we had too many travellers, too many passengers in that first half. I thought you can have
you
or
said it.
Rama.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
You
yeah.
can't
You
have
said that.
both. You can't have both. And they're passengers now. And
Yeah,
doesn't matter what people say about Fornals. I love him as a player, as a man, but just wasn't at the races. No one was at the races. But you can't have if you have one or two, you can carry them. But it's literally the whole team came
yeah,
out that second
yeah.
half. No.
Yeah, it seems to be now that maybe we're seeing quite clearly that we've maybe moved on from a certain area than where we've been, and we can't rely on some of the other players that are there, because if there's an opportunity for these players to step up, like you said, I mean, mate, Benny is quite possibly the most frustrating footballer I've ever saw in my life, ever,
Yeah.
ever, ever, and I mean ever. He made a very good element of play in the first half. He got through like just wide of the keeper on the right hand side, and he didn't even look up, mate. And like fuck, he hit the ball as if the goal was 12 yards to the right. Like that's the way he hit the shot. It wasn't even anywhere close, and it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I can't really put my finger on it, and I don't think
I don't think Moyes could as well, because
I don't believe when people say that Moyes has ruined Benny. No, I don't believe that
I don't.
whatsoever.
I've always said I don't think Benny's that good. I think we hit his max.
Yeah,
I think he's peaked, and he peaked and as I said, I don't think he's that good. In terms of it was one of those games where, because it surprised me, isn't that formation surprised me, because we never have taken this serious. We've never not taken the side seriously, and when you've got a side where you've got Ogbonna. You've got sort of two, not you, because I thought he was going to go with Gerd. I think he's going to play almost exactly the same side against Freiburg, with the exceptions of a few of them. If you obviously Fabianski was a bit coming in, and it just looked like a side you'd put out for the Carabao Cup.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like it's and it was. I mean, Sai, he makes sense. He got it. Game. I mean, I was the same when I saw the lineup. I thought, you saw my face drop, and it was just a weird day. I mean, there's nothing you can take out that game, and say any positives really. We turn up in the last 10 minutes. Really, Moyes had to make 6 changes to try and get something to work.
But again, I'm trying my best not to like. Okay, I'll address. There's a lot of comments in there, right? And I'm going to address some of them, but I'll address them as a whole. Like, we've lost 2 in the trot, right? And they haven't been good losses. Does that mean that our fucking season's imploding?
No, it's
Because if you think about the first 10 games of the season that we did really well in, does that mean we're going to be Premier League champions? No, it just means that maybe things are starting to edge out a little bit, and we're starting to see where, like you said, what passengers we've got, what situation we're in. It needs to be better. We know it needs to be better, but I just think that I feel like at every moment, it's we lose. Whenever we lose, it's we're going to finish bottom five.
Yeah.
Or every moment we lose, it's
Yeah.
I know we're going to be in a relegation zone come Christmas. Or every time we lose, it's Moyes out, it's Moyes out, it's Moyes out. It's kind of maybe maybe for me, it's the consistency and no manager in the Premier League. Who was it? Who was it? I seen the comment. Was it Nick? It was Nick. It was Nick. Was it not? Nick from Clarent Booze. I don't know where he put it. I don't know if it was him. Was it him that put the 5 manager comment thing?
No.
The 5 game manager.
That's so that is that's well known as Sully's test of when he gets rid of a manager.
Right. So 5 games. But the question I think I've seen somewhere is if you lose 5 games on the trot, are you telling me that David Moyes is safe? And I'm like, well, no, I'm not saying that.
No,
but also I'm saying if Emery loses 5 games on the trot, he's probably on a shaky pen.
Any
because
manager.
in the Premier League, that's the where it's at.
Yeah.
Please, I'm not trying to, Andy, I'm really pleased. I'm not putting a positive spin on it. Please take it like that. But where I'm getting frustrated in terms of doing this, I'm getting frustrated because I'm not calling you, I'm not calling everyone in the chat, but it feels vulture-y. It feels like it's an agenda. It's like, let's fucking go for him. Like, we fucking lost. Fuck you, Moyes, and get the fuck out, Moyes. It doesn't work like that. It does not fucking work like that. So I don't understand. That's where my frustration's coming in because I'm like,
I get that.
We're fucking West Ham. I get it, shit. It's fucking bollocks. It was bollocks. I'll call Moyes for that. That was a shit lineup, Moyes.
Yeah.
Fucking learn your lesson and sort it out. But you can't just go, we're gone. Championship team by next year. Like, are you?
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
On that sort of trajectory, we'd be winning the league every year.
Yeah,
wouldn't we? And the fact is, we've lost in Europe in our 3rd successive season in Europe for the first time ever in our history. So not Greenwood, not Lyle, not Redknapp. So it's like it's put in context. Villa was shit. This was shit. We've had 2 shit games in a row. We're on 14 points. That's probably about 12 points more than a lot of people thought we were going to be on this stage of the season already. We play at Everton on Sunday, and it's a reaction. That's what we want as a fan base. We want a reaction on Sunday. We want a team to look like they care on Sunday and put a performance in.
And
now, for me,
this comment's key though. It's how we lose that annoys me, and that annoys me as well.
Yeah.
It does, and I think you can historically go back to all the David Moyes losses and think, like when we lost to Liverpool, it's like, oh fucking hell, really, like go at them a bit more, or don't hand the victory to them, or make that substitution a little bit earlier, or something like that. Or Russ, you said it before the show started, like you've read Mark Noble's autobiography. You know that he's risk averse. But that's what's got us to where we are. And I'm not sticking up for him, essentially. I'm saying that, any person watching that game tonight, West Ham or neutral, will be like, West Ham were shit. That's absolutely fact. West Ham were shit. West Ham manager was shit. The West Ham players were shit tonight. That's it in a nutshell. It doesn't need to be this whole fucking doom and gloom about the whole season. We don't have to put it onto the whole season. People could then counter me and you, Russ, and say, stop going on about 3 seasons in a row. Well, no, I'm fucking not. Stop going on about it because we've just won the European Conference League.
Yeah.
So
people can twist the argument any which way they want, in the same way that we have twisted it, to say, in the short term, it's the last 2 games have been shit, but this season we picked up a lot more points than we thought we was going to. It's true, but it's just, it's and the flip side is we know what's going to happen on Sunday. We know we're going to go back to 4-1-4-1. We know we're going to go, and actually, to be honest, this was an example of why you don't fucking change it.
Yes.
Because we needed that central midfielder. If Alvarez has played today and was playing the CDM role, for the Tunis, whatever his name is, he wouldn't have had enough space to score that goal. Without a matter of time.
Please don't I will clearly, I know people get, I'll clearly state where I'm at. I do not love David Moyes. I respect David Moyes. There's a big fucking difference.
Yeah.
Big Red. There is a big difference, mate.
And I get it, because I get what Kai says as well. So it's like, it's not, the trouble is, because of the way he plays, when we lose, it seems twice as bad. Because when we lose. Because, you know, maybe because when we win, we win, great, you know. But when we lose it, I know exactly what Kai means here. I understand what you mean.
Yeah, but we do lose shit.
Yeah, we do.
We do lose shit. We lost against Newcastle last year. We lost shit. Like, it was shit.
Yeah. And Ben makes a good point. You know, there's never been a plan B with David Moyes. There hasn't. Yeah. There isn't a plan B. And it was panic stations today because he bought a triple sub. When was the last time he had a triple sub? You know, and then he makes another. He always makes up all his subs. He never does that. So you can tell he was shitting himself. Go see listen to Bad P3.
He's fucking fishing, man. He's fishing.
Love it. Right.
I do. Again, just going back to, like, I get it's awful. I feel exactly the same. I'm going to, like, I left Aston Villa at the game at the weekend, and I was, mate, it really ruined my weekend. Like, I was ruined, and this is going to ruin my night. I'm just, you know, nothing beats coming off doing a show like this and seeing West Ham win. In actual fact, when I was doing the running commentary on the game, we've been doing this since COVID, and we've had more fun times doing a match day live than we have had a negative time.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking to myself, fuck, if West Ham were negative all the time, I would not do this. I would not. And I know it'd make good content, but I would not fucking do it.
Nah.
I wouldn't do it.
I know what you mean.
But Russ, we've not had that much. It's not been great some games, but there's always been something to counter that. But
yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
And I mean, Russ, I looked at flights, man. I nearly fucking went there tonight.
Yeah. But I mean, the flip side is, the frustration thing is, you know, you're 2-0 down at half time. You haven't, you know, we've been really poor in the first half. And then, as Alan says, we didn't make any subs until about 55 minutes. And it's like, it weren't working. And so that's what frustrates the fan base. Is clearly we you know, you and me sat here for like 2 minutes and going, he's not working. Nothing's working. The team aren't playing well. Nothing. And then there was no change. And it's like, well, you've really shot yourself in the foot there, because you haven't got the opportunity, because you should have made a, you know, and again, we're, you know, a fat bloke from Hornchurch talking on our YouTube channel. I'm not a manager or anything, but for anyone, you'd assume that you'd want some sort of step change to try and go for it. But there wasn't anything until 50, 60 minutes. Why wait 10 minutes? I don't get it. And you know, if people are talking about Moyes going, latest reports that Jose Mourinho's interested in the West Ham job. So if you want boring, we're going to get some more boring football if it's 1 in, 1 out. Yeah, it's you know, and we don't say it too often. Bad day at the office, but it was a bad day at the office. So poor.
It was so shit. And I get, like, I know there's comment. I'm trying to see it here. How many? There's a lot of comments, so I'm just trying to pick up on it. How many times is that argument being had? Baffles me that some don't mind the shit football as long as we get a result. But then, Mickey, there's part of me that understands that, and there's part of me that doesn't understand that. So if I had to counter that exact comment and change it, flip it, it baffles me that some would want good football and never get a result. But I don't want us to play shit all the time and just get a result. I don't want that either. So I get that.
Yeah.
But although Russ, I would accept that if we won fucking everything. Like, I would accept if we won everything. Like, once in a blue moon.
You're totally right. I know what you mean. It's
I'm just a bit like, you know, it doesn't have to be. Yeah. You know, it doesn't have to be the fucking worst thing ever in the whole wide world.
No. I mean, to be honest, this has, to me, and hopefully for others, it will open people's eyes up to the fact is we have a first team, and then we have reserves. We do not have a 2 11s.
I think we thought we did.
We thought we did.
I thought we did, but players haven't stepped up.
They haven't, and it's like, and people, and there's someone in the chat, I think CJ, talking about Ben Rama's a talent to be one of our best players. Ben Rama's hit his ceiling, CJ. He has. There's, when Moyes has given him so much. Last year he was the player that we all thought he'd keep dropping, and he kept on playing him. And I don't think, I think we've progressed as a side beyond Ben Rahman Fornals now. And to be honest, they haven't, and Bonner as well. Do you know what I mean?
I don't 100% agree with that though, because if every team attacked, then someone's going to lose, and you can have a Man City versus an Arsenal who will attack, and one's going to come out on top. And I know I'm talking about just one game as an example, but it's not that I am willing to accept West Ham to be sold for the world of crap football, but for me, it's just a bit too much for West Ham to lose a game, first European game in 18 games or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And just off the back of a really crap defeat against Aston Villa. Right. And suddenly, I mean, the way that I feel right now is that it's David Moyes doesn't have 5 games. David Moyes has 1 game, and any game he loses, he should be sacked. And that's the way it feels right now. And that's why I get I can't really be bothered being on the show, because I'm just like, I don't understand it. But everyone's entitled to their own opinion, and I get that. That's fine.
Yeah, they are, and that's why we do this, to give people a forum to do that. I think to be honest, I think if he doesn't if he doesn't win on Sunday, then even
the pressure's going to kick in.
Yeah, the pressure's going to kick in. I think the Villa game, and I think this game as well. I mean, as I said, these for me, Olympiacos were the strongest side that we've played in all 3 of our group stages, in all internet. We've had some crap groups, the likes of Zagreb and people like that. This is the best side we've played in terms of European pedigree, I think actually the stadium made a difference. Real hostile atmosphere, and I think we looked. To
be honest,
scared,
Russ,
but
we did look scared, because there was a couple of occasions that Emerson, Kira went for tackles, and their players were running at them, and they shat themselves.
Yeah,
and they genuinely looked like they were shitting themselves. Like Olympiacos, again, let's not underestimate the fact that they had to win that game today. Yes, we played shit. Yes, it's unacceptable. If I'm there in Greece right now, I'll be fucking raging at that performance. I'll be raging at that team. I'll be raging at that team. And I am not saying patting the back David Moyes for letting us win the Europa Conference League, and woohoo, thank you, deserve the benefit of the doubt because of that performance. That performance was shit. David Moyes, you were shit. West Ham, you were shit. Buck up your fucking ideas, go into Everton and prove everyone wrong again. But if you don't, I'll turn around and I'll say, you were shit. You were shit. And if it doesn't happen again, you're shit. And then I'll be like, oh shit, maybe something's happening again, and maybe we need to get fucking rid, and then maybe we need to sort it out. But right now, it's I don't know. I think I'm going off on a tangent, Russ.
No, I think Hammers Mikey makes a good show. I think obviously Mickey and Hammers Mikey have a good old 1 or 2. I wouldn't say it's knee jerk, but I think Mikey makes a good show. It's the way it's the way we've lost today. If we, as you said, didn't shoot ourselves, show some guts, show some passion, then there's at least something we can say. To me, that first half, it looked like they weren't trying. It looked like rabbit in headlights. They looked like a side that hadn't played together. There was no cohesion. And yes, you could say that's on Moyes, but also it's on the players on the pitch. It's a combination. Both, I think the side was poor in terms of the side was picked, but the players are professional players who get picked. The likes of Fornals, Ben Rama, these guys have won a European trophy, looked absolutely shell-shocked. And, you look at Bonner, everyone, it was, classic schoolboy mistake for the own goal, and to me, he should not be anywhere near the first team. He's well past his best. Sorry, Olgie, but not being nasty, but you got to go. And I think Fornals as well. I think he hasn't shown any of that frustration that he came when he came against Bournemouth last season. Hasn't shown any of that, which is very unusual.
Mate, and Danny Ings.
Yeah. But I mean, Danny Ings is the only one I feel very sorry for, because he was in a position where, that's not his role. And you see him trying, you see him running off the ball, trying to do those things that Antonio can't do. But it's and we said this at the beginning, it's about buying we've never bought a striker to actually fit our formation. We buy a striker and then try and shoehorn them into our formation. And so I do feel sorry for Danny, but then the argument is, why not put Mbama in? To be honest, fair play, but I just think Moyes wouldn't have done that. He went for his tried and tested, it's experience, and it hasn't worked. And it hasn't worked.
And that's where I would disagree with Moyes 100%. I'm like, well, what really has Danny Ings brought to West Ham? And there's
Nothing.
like so what you can be stubborn, but you have to be consistent in your stubbornness, right?
Yeah.
So if you sign Vlasic and you don't rate Vlasic and you're willing to accept the fact that we've lost a lot of money and sold him when it didn't work out, then that's fine. You also maybe have to accept the fact that Danny Ings doesn't deserve to get a run in the game just for feeling sorry for the geezer when you've got someone like Mubama who probably could potentially set the world alight. He might not, but I would rather Mubama be given that chance than Danny Ings be given that chance, because we've got a has-been versus someone who is or was consistently scoring goals throughout all the levels. So things like that are very do piss me off. And again, I want to just reiterate where people are. I need people to understand where I'm at. I'm not sitting here going, I want Moyes in and Moyes out. Right now, I just don't think that's for the topic of the discussion. I don't think it should be part of the discussion. And I feel like it should be a case of learn your fucking lesson, do it right next week. And if we don't, then we have some serious shit to start working on and doing behind the scenes. And I think you're right, Russ. Tonight's really taught me that we don't have 22 or 16 players. I thought we did, but we don't.
No, I think you're totally right. I think I'm in the same camp in that, to be honest, the rhetoric is not the place for the conversation. I mean, the conversation is we need to not stop the rot. It's 2 games, but we've got a situation on Sunday where we have an opportunity to make a difference, and to show, as Mikey says, show the players have got some guts, show that they've got some balls, got some bollocks, and put in a performance, because that was not a performance today. Villa wasn't a performance, and it needs to, in the same way that we've done it. We need to do it. It's always fucking Everton. It's always Everton. It seems comes around, and we have to put a performance in. Last year as well, wasn't it? It was like whoever lost won. Sean Dyche, wasn't it? With us, Pat Frank, wasn't it? So it's the same here. And if it happens and we lose again, then I don't expect to lose on Sunday. In all honesty, and that's not. And that's not, I think Mike said, then the Moyes in brigade. That's not what I'm saying. But as a side, we need to get back on track. We've got a lot of big games coming up in the next few weeks, and we need to start. We've got obviously, you've got Everton on Sunday. We've got Arsenal on Wednesday, next Wednesday in the Carabao Cup. So we need to crack on, and try and see what we can do, because otherwise, and it might be we lose. We lose Everton, we lose against Arsenal. Moyes could be gone by then in 2 weeks' time. It could be.
Yeah.
And then whoever comes in gets my full support as well.
Absolutely. And I think the key for me is something does need to change. So what won't help on the weekend is if we see Antonio start the game and Kudus doesn't start the game.
He will. We know it, but we know because when they see situations, we know exactly. I can predict the 11 as long as Soufal's fit. I can predict exactly the 11 because it will be. Because when he has these games, we used to always have these save our season games, and he goes for his generals, or as he calls it. So it will be the back four. It'll be Areola in goal. It won't be Emerson though. So it'll be interesting. It'll probably Kira in left back. It will be again Zuma, Soufal, Alvarez. It'll be Paqueta on the left hand side. It will be Souček, JWP, Bowen, Antonio up front. We know it will happen. We know it will. And so unless there's an injury, unless Antonio's got an illness or whatever, there won't be any change to that. But then it's the people on the pitch to make the effort and have a go. That's what we need. Yeah. That's all we need. Anyway, on that cheery note.
Fucking hell.
On that cheery note, I'm going to have to go for a wee.
I'm going to just have to leave and fucking do something else, mate. I just thought, do you know what? I'll come back at the end of the season, right? I'll leave it to you and Holly. Actually, Holly will be gone. I'll be gone, and it'll be you, Russ.
Yeah.
Nah, listen. At the end of the day, I appreciate everyone's opinion. I just deal with matters differently. It doesn't mean I'm right. It doesn't mean I'm wrong. But I just have to put my head on the thing and say I'm not happy. Why would I be? How can I?
Yeah,
How can I walk away from the last two games
can't.
and be happy? No West Ham fan can walk away from the
Nope,
game just
not
be
at
too
all.
happy. So the only thing I'm saying is I don't want to draw on it's sack him now and bring someone else in. I'm just like, we've got a little bit of time on our side. We're coming into November, you know, and let's see what happens. Let's just see what happens.
Let's see what happens. As again, no knee-jerk reactions here. We'll see what happens.
I want Aston Villa to lose every fucking game between now and the end of the season, though, because I see if people keep comparing us to that. I've just had a message from someone I know, and he's probably watching now, and he's like to me, "This is the comment. Look at the difference tonight with Villa as an elite manager."
Fucking, they're in the champion. If they win the conference, fair enough.
Yeah.
If they win the conference, fair enough. And if they get into Europe again next season, then fair enough. It's true. It's true. He's a great manager, but there will be coming a time where it will all go to the pot. It always does. Same as Brighton and stuff like it always happens. You know, Newcastle haven't had a great start to the season. I mean, they lost against Dortmund. Oh, that's it. Eddie Howe. I mean, great man. You know, so it's everyone's time to, you know, in the day, it's Villa's time in the sun at the moment. So, look, at the end of the day, we appreciate everyone. We know there's different opinions, and hopefully you can appreciate ours as much as we appreciate it. It's true, isn't it? It's true.
Yeah, it's not.
We don't rant and rave. We don't rant and rave, but that, you know, that's how some people deal with it. You and me deal with it very differently. And for me, it's all about what happens now. It's dust the self off and go again, isn't it? We've got to. We've only got 3 days until the next game. And we've got 3 days, and then we've got. So it's literally ongoing. We haven't got time to dissect it, look at it, nuances and stuff like that. We haven't got time. We've got to right. Okay, that was shit. Cross the line. Let's move on. In it, bruv. Right.
Yeah, laughing emojis watching. I'm calling you out, Alan. I'm calling you out,
Alan. Very good. All right, guys.
Right, yeah. Much love.
Much love. Take care. We'll see you tomorrow.
On to Everton for the 3 points.
3 points. We'll have the Dave Moyes press conference tomorrow and Sean Dyche press conference. We'll have I'll probably do the ratings very, very quickly on Lunchtime Live as well. And that's it. Take care. Stay safe. Much love. Bye.